We'd like to have questions about the film. That's why Mr. Lee is here, and thank you. I understand your plight with it.
It doesn't have to be just about this film, though, but.
Yeah, it can be about any
Film
movie or anything you want to comment on. What's your name and what's your question?
My name is Judith Rudd, and my question, first of all, thank you for a really hilarious thriller, beautiful film. The opening dance sequence was beautiful. It sort of reminded me of Theo Parrish's work for Footprint, a video for music, piece of music that's come out recently. I want to ask, it's a two-part question. Bruce Hornsby did the whole original score.
He did score.
The credits rolled too fast. The whole scene in the church, was that also written by him?
No, that's from the original film.
Okay, great.
Sam Wayman,
Perfect.
who's Nina Simone's brother.
Okay.
So we just updated the song. And in that scene, that's Raphael Sadiq on guitar,
Right.
Valerie Simpson on piano, John the Baptiste on board.
Okay. My question to you is, I mean, music's always been really important in films. You've directed a lot of music videos. I'm wondering, since things like Fight the Power, which you directed for Public Enemy and White Lines, do you find in those days it's important to have a black director make music videos because of the content, and do you think it's still relevant today for the music?
To have black directors for black videos?
Yeah, like just for content, to make sure that the message is delivered with the artists.
A lot of black directors are doing fucked up videos.
Absolutely, so you were
So
saying.
let me finish, please.
All right.
Well, a lot of these videos where they promote violence against women, guns, that whole lifestyle. They're directed by black directors, so I don't think race had anything to do with that.
No, you've answered my question. What I mean is, when you did, let's say, Fight the Power, and then you used it in film, the context both in the music video and the film made a really strong statement, not about violence in the connotative sense. But I just wanted to know.
Fight the Power, the video, the song's in the movie. It's different from.
Yeah, exactly. You've answered my question. You probably didn't say it properly, but I want to thank you anyway.
Thank you.
No, my pleasure. Thank you.
All right, we have lots of questions.
I like the acting in the film, they were all excellent. But what do you think is the redeeming social or other value of this film?
I don't answer a question like that. You, the audience, has to decide. Since 1980, after Do the Right Thing, I stopped explaining films. Come on, I don't do that anymore. The audience has to do some work. I'm not just to tell you.
People have to work. Who's got a question here? Is this one out of the box, Mr. Lee?
What was the question?
He wants to know if this movie is a bit out of the box for your usual.
I don't have usual films. I mean, Do the Right Thing. If you go to Do the Right Thing, you also look at Kings of Comedy, you go look at Bamboozle, you go look at 25th Hour. All the films, a lot of them are different. So I'm not really about trying to tell the same story again and again. So it's not a surprise to me that I made this film.
Can I ask you about Kickstarter and how important it was to this film? Because I think you said that no production company was going to touch this, right? You needed.
No, it's not like that. I tried. I didn't even waste time. So I just knew that crowdfunding, Kickstarter would be the way to get this film financed.
I was just wondering.
Could you speak a little louder, all of it, please?
I was just wondering. What is the first quality you look for when casting an actor in one of your movies?
The first quality I look for in an actor is finding the right person for the role. The lead actress in this film, his name is Zara Abrahams. There's a funny way I got to know her. As I said earlier, I'm a professor at the press conference. I said it. I've been teaching film at NYU Graduate Film School for the last 15 years. And one of my students' thesis films, she was in. And she wasn't even the lead, she was the co-star. I told my student, you got it mixed up. Zara should be the lead, the other lady shouldn't even be in the film. So, my student gave me her number. We did Skype, and then I flew to London, auditioned her, and brought her back to New York to audition with even Tyrone Williams. And I saw Stephen Tyrone Williams in the Broadway show called Lucky Guy. It was starring Tom Hanks. So that's where the two leads came out.
A lot of great performances in this movie. How tough is it for you as a director to get the actors to trust you enough to do scenes like that?
What particular scene?
Oh, la, la, you want me to go there? I mean, there were so many of them that were
What
tough.
scene?
Well, I mean, the nude scenes were hard, the licking blood off the floor scenes, I mean, these
That
are.
was, I mean, for Steven, that was hard for him. He had a hard time looking at blood. Not real blood.
Thank you, thank
But
you.
it was just so sweet, but no, he. Hello.
My name is Tristan Bilal. I'm an actor. Thank you for being here. I wanted to ask you, Crooklyn, Bamboozle, Get on the Bus, Changed My Life. I'm wondering, you have your sister in so many of your films, if you could speak to the importance of family in your life and why she played such a pivotal part.
My brother was in this film too, saying he's the one that played his butler. Well, I grew up in a very artistic family. My brother David does all the still photography. And as you saw this memorial to my brother Chris Shadow, who died in December, my sister acts, my other brother was in the film. He's the videographer on the film, so he shoots all the B-roll. So we're just, just very artistic family, so it's not just me.
And I think he wants to be in one of your movies.
Your casting is for the TV series for She's Gotta Have It.
No, all
Not
right.
yet.
You're talking about family. I brought my friend's 17-year-old and 18-year-old sons, and I'm thinking of them watching this. Have your kids seen this movie? I know your daughter's a film student.
Yeah, my son's a senior in high school, my daughter is a sophomore in NYU film school.
Have they seen this movie?
This one?
Yeah. And what was the sort of
They liked
reaction?
They liked it.
They liked it?
They liked it.
They liked it.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Analoga.
Hello.
Hello, nice to meet you, and I'm so grateful to be able to talk to you. I come from a small town in basically there were many black people, not many blacks in that town, and I saw you on TV and everything. But my question is, what would you recommend to aspiring black filmmakers or actors? I studied filmmaking. I took also some courses in acting also. So I'm just wondering, what would you recommend to graduates?
Learn your craft. Simple, learn your craft. Own your craft. Be dedicated.
And work hard, right?
And work hard.
You gotta work hard. We have 5 more questions here, so we'll get through these.
Hi, my name is Monica. I was just wondering why you chose to name the main female character Gaza. Why?
As I said before, this is an update of this film. Originally was made in 1973 by the director Bill Gunn. He saw the credits, so it's one of my favorite films. And I met the producer of it, and that just gave me an idea. I said, I'll do this film as a Kickstarter film. So Bill Gunn was the original writer director. The film was called Gaza S.
What did you love about the film when you first saw it? Not your version, but the original version.
It was a very experimental film, and it was done during the era of black exploitation film. There's a big film called Dracula, Blackula, and these people approached him saying, "Want something like that," but he did the end around, gave him something else. Yes.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you for coming to Montreal and everything.
Thank you.
And congratulations on the movie. And I was just wondering, I read a few years ago you were developing a movie called Selling Time, and then kind of went away and thought about selling time in your life.
Yeah, I mean, but that was nothing I was developing. It was something that someone asked me to read, and that
Sounds like an interesting premise, but
didn't work out.
Hi, my name is Daphne. I have 2 questions. The first one is very beautiful intro. Was it just to have a different intro, or was it linked to the movie that you did the?
You mean the opening credit sequence?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's linked because we want to establish a neighborhood of Brooklyn where that church is, and I love opening credit scenes.
Second question, I noticed how you used some of your techniques of directing that were previous movies. In the beginning of this one, did you have a theatrical kind of directing? Like at first I felt like it was kind of like in a stage, but then it developed into a movie, or was that not?
I don't think that was conscious. Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you very much for coming and answering questions. My name is Daniel. I would like just to have a bit of input or your thoughts about the editing process, how you approach it, what you prefer to learn through the time that you really it's a big mistake.
Well, it's very important to have a good editor. You gotta have an editor, and you have to get, the editor has to have material. So I shoot with 2 cameras all the time. We shoot with 2 cameras, so actors don't have to worry about overlapping lines, don't have to worry about continuity. It's a lot faster. And we don't like to have long days, we go 12 hours, that's it. It's crazy to have 15, 18-hour days shooting film. It doesn't have to be that way. So we're very efficient, and when actors know when they come into the set that after they come an hour after call, they come on set, they go hair and makeup, and how we're shooting. They're not going to be stuck in their campus or whatever, 4 or 5 hours waiting for lighting and stuff like that. We're there to go. We start shooting an hour after call. We got stuff to do.
Get it done.
Hi, my name is Phyllis. 2 very quick questions. First, I wanted just to ask about the visual aesthetics. Like I just noticed when the character Hess was in the neighborhoods, the neighborhoods, I'm assuming it is, you use a more grainy feel as opposed to out in Martha's Vineyard. Was there specific reasons why you chose to do that?
All right, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Have you ever been to Martha's Vineyard?
No. I've been invited but never made it.
Well, Martha's Vineyard is a little like a project, working projects in Brooklyn, New York. One is grimy, dirty, urban. For me, Martha's Vineyard was one of the most beautiful places on earth, so we wanted to show that distinction at the top.
The other brief question was there any significance to that flag that was flying outside Hess's
Well,
house?
that's a Shanti flag.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Good. Okay, my question is basically, just to get the film greenlit or financed is half the battle, but getting it seen by, people that want to see it, that's the second battle. In the day, in these days of Netflix and, streaming and everything, our filmmakers are addressing that challenge of getting, the film picked up and distributed.
Well, it's hard. But it's more, a lot of ways with the internet, more people see it. But you have to be adaptable as a filmmaker. What's happening now was not happening, 1989. 1988, we shot Do the Right Thing. People forget, Do the Right Thing was a studio film. That was not independent film. That was Universal Pictures. Studios aren't making films like that anymore. So the whole thing has changed. As a filmmaker, as an artist, you have to be adaptable. Go with the flow. You got to fit in where you can get it. Just keep stepping. Hello.
Hi, I'm a student right now, and I was just wondering if through the process of teaching films, if that has changed the way you do things as a filmmaker at all, or if you've had a standout moment where you feel you may have learned from students.
Well, I don't think teaching film has changed my filmmaking, but I do learn other stuff from my students. As I said earlier in the press conference this afternoon, I never even heard of crowdfunding until my students told me about it. I never heard of Indiegogo, never heard of Kickstarter. I found out about it because my students were using crowdfunding to get the finishing fund for their films. That's how I heard about it.
The students teach teachers as well.
Yes. Hello.
My name is Debbie, and I'm very excited to today.
Lily, you got Lily?
Nelly.
Oh, you gotta speak up, please.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So I'm half Canadian and half French, so I was very happy to see all these references to the Asian realm. So I'd like to know if you ever been to Ghana and know about the Asian culture or what inspires
Well,
concerning history, because all everything, the fabric, the earring, the sarcophag, everything. So it was a huge part of it.
That's called research. That's research, great young production designer, a Korean American woman. Her name is Kay Lee. And when she read the script, she just immersed herself in the Ashanti culture. And we just got to get, I mean, if he's an expert of Ashanti culture, it's to have to reflect it in the film.
Are you the one who chose precisely to go there? To go to, I mean, the Ashanti culture? Because, I mean, Ghana was...
It was a part of the original script. But once it's a part of the original script, we incorporate it in what we did, we have to make it come to life. So we went to a lot of research with museums, with a lot of African art stores. You know, I mean, that house, it wasn't like that when we got there. We dressed that stuff. Dressed it. Well, hello.
I watched the music before playing the console but I've also not a big fan of documentary.
It's not an either or for me. I'm a filmmaker, so I don't put limits on myself. So as a filmmaker, I do documentaries, I do commercials, music videos, short films, and narrative. It's all filmmaking. You are.
Hi, my name is Lydia Lockett. I want to thank you for all your work, your inspiration, bravo. And my question is, if you got a story idea that you fell in love with that was relevant to what you find is important, and it's a Canadian true story, would you consider directing? And how do I get the story?
Right now, I'm just concentrating on the stuff I'm writing
Okay,
at this moment.
but for future.
Who knows?
Okay, then what you told me you're going to. Thanks.
Yes.
Hello, and thank you for coming in Montreal. I have a question. I write some scripts sometimes, and I'm an virtual maker. But I have difficulty finding production company who wants to produce my script. So do you have any guidelines or maybe advice for my script to be produced rather than having an agent? Because that's also difficult if you're the only limited.
Now, the script you have, is it a short film or is it a feature film?
It's my short film.
It's a short film. You have a phone? People shoot short films on their phones now.
Yeah, I know, but.
Or what? People are editing their films on their laptops.
I know, but I want more, like, I want it to be complex and I want more help.
Well,
I find it difficult to do it myself.
Wait. You want me complex? Have you ever made a film before? How'd you do that?
I did it at Concordia. I used to be a student at Concordia, and we did student films together, like maybe a group of 4 or 5 people. I did maybe 4 films in total.
Well, there's an old saying, you gotta go what you got. Now, if you have any money, you gotta go what you got and shoot something on a phone, edit on your laptop, and make the best of you make. So you hit the lottery.
Get it, man?
Thank you very much. Absolutely.
Yes, my man right there. Thank you very much.
Hi.
So we got 4 more. 3, 4. Right.
Excuse me if I'm a bit redundant, because I've been in and out, I'm a volunteer, so, not great, but what were 1 or 2 of the major challenges you had in this project?
1 or 2 challenges, well, we shot a big, anytime you're making a film, you know, your money dictates how many days you shoot. So this film, of course, we raised $1.4 million on Kickstarter for this film. But we didn't get 1.4 million because Amazon has to get some because they do the credit cards and Kickstarter has a fee. So money dictates the shooting days. So the hardest thing was the shooting. We shot this film in 16 days. So we were hauling ass. We were shooting 5, 6, 7 pages a day.
So okay, we're gonna end it after these 3, so stop's coming up at this point.
Hi, I'm Mariah Inger. I'm a professional actor in the city of Montreal here, and participating in the Black Film Festival, International Film Festival here. I know what it's like to shoot a film in 18 days or 16 days, so I know what that's about. I actually want to know, how do you feel after 25, 30 years in this business? Where are you at as the man now, looking in the past, looking where you are, looking into your future? Do you feel proud? Do you feel like you've got a lot more you need to achieve, or are you
A
done?
lot more stories to tell.
A lot more stories.
A lot more stories to tell.
I'm happy for that.
Yes, sir.
Pleasure. As an amateur filmmaker, I just have a small question about general film.
Why do you put the word amateur in front of film?
Oh, because I'm an apprentice. I just made 2 short films in my life.
No, don't use that. You're a filmmaker. You're making film. If you're making film, you're a filmmaker.
Thank you.
So you gotta make the choice whether you wanna be a good filmmaker, a bad film, or a great filmmaker.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Nick. I just wanted to say first, I found it very ingenious, the idea of traveling with the camera around the 2 girls' couple. I mean, I don't know about the rest of you, but to me, it worked. It actually helped me feel a climax. So, I just want to know, how do you come up with these ingenious ideas with camera?
Good question. Well, I want to give some love to my students. One of my former students, Dan Pass, shot this film. And one of my former students edited this film, Randy Wolfman. So I have I have good students and they're working for me. And Daniel is a wonderful cinematographer. And he's a very good camera operator. You know, not that we could afford Steadicam on this shoot. We couldn't, but I still want the camera. So once Hess goes upstairs, I said, you know, we should try to do this one shot. So he goes upstairs. The camera's behind the sofa where Tangier is sitting. She pours another glass of champagne, lights a cigarette, and the camera comes around as Ganja sits on the sofa with her. Then she says, "You want to dance?" So then they go, and then we go around. So we don't want to. I mean, a lot of times I don't want to cut. I like to do it, one take. Now you can do it one take moving, you can do one take static. Like the monologue she gives at the table. You know, you can't do stuff like that unless you're a great actress, because otherwise they're gonna be flub. I don't want to cut. So you need people who could give you that performance, and most of those people have stage background. You know, she worked with Royal something in London. I forgot. English actors. They come to the stage. You know, they have that foundation. So there's another example where she's talking about, she got beat up by baby Jesus, so it was a very, very intimate scene, so I don't want to cut, so we just put the camera down. Another example where we didn't, was one take, is at the end of the movie when God brings the flood and the gap of Son of Shadow. You know, someone said, was there ad-lib? There was an ad-lib, improvisation. When he's looking in, when he's looking in the refrigerator, it was the actor. He said, let me get Spike, what about this line? Right here in the back. I said, yeah. So, his head is in the refrigerator, he says, right here in the back. That's she pulled the knife out. Wow. So that was the improvised line. But after she kills him, and we see her walking to the boathouse, then we cut inside. So she knocks on the door, then we cut inside and we see her come up the steps. That's like a 9-minute sequence where there's not a cut. We see her come up the steps, and she leads us to Hess, who's in the chair. We see the cross hanging, the shadow on him. Until we cut out that scene, that's the camera's moving in and out. But you have to have a good operator, you know, to do that stuff. So Daniel Patterson did a great job. The last question.
Last question.
You are.
Good evening, Professor Lee. My one and only question is, when are you coming back to Montreal to share with us a festival of all your films? All kinds of things, one day.
All of them? Me forever. Making joints is 86. I mean, I really can't, that's not on me. But no one's really, we had the motion picture art and science, they showed some film, and no one's really done an entire retrospective of all the work, all the feature films, all the documentaries, the commercials, short films, so hopefully they'll happen one day. I want to thank everyone for coming out. I know it's late. Thank you guys for coming out for the 10th anniversary of the Montreal Canadians.
Thank you so much.
Get on stage.
Thank you, Spike Lee. Thank you for coming to Montreal. We're all thrilled to have you here. I just want to remind you all that the festival is not over. This was not the last event. This is just the beginning. Please go on to the website, MontrealBlackFilm.com. Check out some of the incredible films and experiences you can have over the next 5 days. Thank you.